Why will you have the Pac-Man right there?
Because I want to.
You're not taking the Pac-Man though.
No, I'm not taking it.
Okay. Cue cards. What's up, guys? So that's my mom. This is ONLYUSEmeBLADE's mom, and this is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, dear.
I love you.
I love you too.
But I figured that for Mother's Day I'd have her on, and I actually had you guys on Twitter ask some questions, and I gotta say you guys didn't really come through with the creative questions. I thought there would have been more creativity. What do you think?
I think they were pretty good.
Okay.
There was some consistency, and there were a few inappropriate ones, but...
What were the inappropriate ones?
Usually something about sex.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't talk about sex about my mom at the same time. It's like not good.
It doesn't work.
It's not really cool with that. So we want to just get started?
Sure.
Alright, the most asked question, and this is why I didn't like the originality of the Twitter people, is, and I'm not bagging on you guys, come on, cut that out. Most asked question is, how, why, and when was I born? This was the most asked question?
Basically, that just is a synopsis. Okay. Brian was...
Story time.
Story time. Yes, Brian was planned. No, Brian's dad was not black. He has no black blood in his body. Do I look black? No. His dad was an Italian man, big Italian man that looks very much like Brian. And he was planned and joyfully received. And when he was born, he was the sweetest, most virtuous child you would ever know. He just did not know anything bad. He just was always the most wonderful kid. He got his growth real early. He grew out of the snaps in his pants when he was about 6 months old, and had to have a haircut when he was about 3 months old. And the picture that's on, if you've seen my channel, which we'll talk about later, the picture of...
Oh, so this is just trying to get your channel?
Yeah, this is actually just
plugging your channel.
This is a plug for my channel. Yeah, don't watch.
Box for Box Mom. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I see how it is.
Okay, all right, guys. The purpose of my channel is to answer questions.
This is a 28-year long plan to get in my sub box. I see how this works. Okay.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah.
Hey. Anyway, this kid was just born virtuous, and if you go to my, I get another plug for my channel, my favorite picture, Brian, is on my website when he was 9 months old. His dad was a computer genius, and he built the computer that's there, and Brian has the picture here at his place of the same thing. And we had Mr. Pac-Man, and so Brian was the original at 9 months old playing Pac-Man, so he got a head start on all of you, so that's why he's so good.
I'm taking you down, Game 3 vids. It's just, I'm busy with real life, but you're going down.
Anyway, he was just Mr. Nice Guy from the day he was born, and when he was 11 months old, big shock, and it was a very memorable time that his little sister was born. And he suddenly was not the center of attention, and I took her upstairs.
I think I dealt with it though, right?
Oh, well, you dealt with it by squatting on the floor and screaming your head off for about 5 minutes.
Okay, well that's getting edited.
It's appropriate.
It's always just being spastic and just freaking out because sis was coming through?
Well, I mean, this little girl was born and suddenly things were different. But anyway, she was not quite as sweet as he was, and she would taunt him, and one of the first things I remember was they had done something together. I forget what they'd done, not that bad, maybe they were a year old, and I gave him a swat on the back of the leg, just said you can't do that.
You heard it here. Blade's mom is a kid beater.
I am.
She
And
beats children.
this little guy looked up at me so puzzled. He says, "You hit me." He had never been disciplined. He'd never done anything wrong except his sister was the instigator. So anyway, he was just a very virtuous, kind kid, always.
Oh, I can live with that.
You can live with that.
Let's see here. What was I like as a child? Any good childhood stories that you
Actually,
can think of?
Brian and his sister Megan, who has gone by Meg in recent years, are 11 months apart, and so they were always double trouble. And one of the one of the most funny things I remember is we were at a restaurant, and it was a pretty nice restaurant, and they had gone outside, and we went out there, and it turned out they had both taken off their clothes and were swimming in the fountain.
When was this?
When you were about 2 or 3 years old.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it happened last weekend when you
Well,
were drunk
yeah,
or something.
yeah. Well, that too. No, we're not going to talk about that one because I was naked too, so that won't work. That won't work. No. But anyway, he got his growth very early, and he was
Height. Perverts.
You have an iPhone.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
Anyway, he got his growth early, and so it was real interesting playing sports, that everybody thought that he was this killer, aggressive kid, and he really was just the nicest
I'm like
person.
the most laid back kid ever.
He was the most laid back kid. He played softball or t-ball, when they're 5 years old or whatever, and everybody'd say, "Oh, watch this kid, he's really trouble. He's gonna, gotta really defend against him." And Brian was so nice that he was out in the field one day, or he was on first base, and the ball came close to him, so he caught it and handed it to the other team. And then when he played basketball, he was just feet taller than the rest of the kids. And remember, he played for the Parks Department. And he had this lady coach that really couldn't say much except go win. Just go out there and win, guys. He didn't give him much.
What a pep talk.
Yeah. But anyway,
So you're saying we should score more points than the other team? Is that what you're going with?
she did teach some basic defense, to put your hands up.
Yeah.
And so we were watching Brian, and like I say, he towered over these kids. They hit him, mid-chest, most of them. And we're watching him on defense, and all of a sudden, he just completely backs off. He just walks, backs up and puts his hands down, and the kid makes a basket. And so, timeout, I said, "Brian, why would you not stay on the defense?" And he said, "Well, they can't shoot if I'm there. I'm too big. If my arms are up, they can't shoot."
You made that up.
You said that. You said, "Mom, it wouldn't be fair."
You're making me seem like I'm some kind of gentle giant
You
that just
are-
roams
you
the
were the-
earth, and like I'm Lenny from Of Mice and Men or something. Like that doesn't-
You are the gentle giant of the world, and his dad was the gentle giant of the world. And some of you have asked, and I will tell you that Brian's dad passed away when he was 5 years old, and there was a different. I'm not going to go into this. We can cut this part out. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see here. What other questions do we have? What kind of kid was I? Funny stories growing up. You need to clarify. Okay. This was probably asked. Let me explain the whole when Black Ops got released thing.
Whoa.
This right here, this lady. What happened was I got pretty plastered, drunk, safely, and we went. Not we, but a buddy of mine and I. We went to go pick up Black Ops, and I thought it'd be funny if I went and picked up Black Ops when I was hammered, And I thought it would be really, really funny if I acted as if people should know who I am, which is totally not what I'm like in real life. And so I put up the video the next day, and there's a lot of positive support. A lot of people said that I sounded like an ass. And then
That's positive?
Well, no. I'm saying there's people that liked it. Some people said I sounded like an ass. But this lady right here, my mother, who I love dearly, I love you, Mom. She called me at like 11 o'clock at night, which is like...
I texted him at a noisy work and said, take that down.
Yeah. And so when Mom calls at 11 p.m., and you normally get to bed super early.
I'm not normally when
we're on completely different time schedules. I'm like a night owl, and so was my dad. My dad was the same way. So out of respect for her, I took that down. So
yeah, that was not a good thing.
What do you think of me being on YouTube?
I think it is an amazing sign of the times, and I'm very, very proud of you for what you've done and the way you do it. And it really hasn't gone to his head. He's just still the nicest guy. Just that Black Ops night when, what was your line? I only stab people when
I only knife people where I stab them. And I didn't like say that planning like that's going to be a catchphrase, but that really caught on.
Oh.
People really like that.
Well, you were drunk.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She does the t-shirts, guys. So obviously
Oh, I get a full half hour about that, don't I?
No.
Isn't that why we're here?
No, that's not why we're here.
Okay, guys, the reason I'm here...
It's Mother's Day. I love her. That's the reason.
No, the reason I am involved with the t-shirts is that early on, someone contacted Brian and said, hey man, I want to make t-shirts for you. And so Brian came to me, he's all excited, you know, he's real flattered that this guy says, I want to make t-shirts. And I looked at him and I said, Brian, what do you think I did for 25 years? I owned a promotional products business for 25 years and made t-shirts and everything else. And so I said, you know, if anybody's going to make t-shirts for you, I'm going to make t-shirts for you.
Yeah.
And it became, you guys are probably aware that Brian has become so popular that he can't possibly answer all the questions.
Yeah.
I mean, his inbox is just incredible. And I realized that there were a lot of people that had questions about the t-shirts, and so I formed this funky little channel. But the main purpose of it is called Blades One Mom, and I did it quite a while ago. The main purpose of it is to allow people to communicate if they have questions or ideas about new t-shirts. And Meg's boyfriend Matt, who some of you have heard in commentaries, set up the website to sell the t-shirts, and we actually sell them around the world, and we've figured out a way to ship them very reasonably. And it's
so basically, if you guys anything about t-shirts, she's the one to talk to, and I let her run that because I'm more interested in making videos than like selling t-shirts. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say with that. Like,
yeah.
I'm more worried about making sure that the content is somewhat interesting on here. So let me see here. What kind of kid? Funny stories. Okay. So and last thing, this is probably a pretty long video. Let's clarify the whole funeral home conversation. So there's a video. I think it was like I'll link that. Is a Crisis 2 video. And I talked about the conversation because like some of the best conversations happen when I'm sleep deprived, like if I work long nights and then I get up in the morning. I don't know what the whole situation was, but we were both in the car and we were talking about something, and she started talking about how she wanted to work at a funeral home, that she wanted to become a dentist so that she could scavenge gold out of people's teeth from the cadavers. So
cadavers.
Cadavers.
They were going to be divers after a while.
Yeah, and then to just throw people in the river when they get killed, because I mean if you have a body, instead of like going through the whole process of properly burying people, you want to just toss them in the river, which I thought was cute. So let's explain that.
Okay.
Oh, you have the forum to explain.
Okay. Actually, I had seen an ad. I've been needing to get a real job beyond the t-shirts for a while, and I've seen an ad in the paper, and it said, "You sell what?" And it's difficult. Obviously, the whole country is in a recession, and getting a job, you know, if you're over 40, you're over the hill, and computers screen you out anyway. So I had an opportunity that I was considering talking to these people because it was a real person that I would be talking with. And so I just mentioned it to Brian, and that's kind of where the conversation started, and it just got crazy. I mean, it really was, that's what we do sometimes. We just get off on a tangent.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was totally, I was totally kidding.
No, you weren't. You don't.
Oh,
just because we're in front of all these people, you can't be like, no, psych.
Baloney, anyway. Actually, the part about the river was that we live in an area where there's wonderful waterfront, and I love boating, and it was just my excuse. I said, hey, you know, since I don't have a cemetery, I can buy a house on the water and buy a nice boat and deduct on my taxes, and you, Brian, can help me. We'll just dump the people in the water. And it was all in
Somehow
jest.
I became an accomplice in this, because that's what that is. There's nothing legal about that.
Okay, anyway. Bottom line is, I actually had 2 job interviews and was hired on the first, offered the job on the first interview at 2 different places, and one of the places is where Brian's dad is buried, and it is a beautiful park in Bellevue where we live, a beautiful view property, and very exclusive. And my line is that I sell perpetual real estate, but it really is. It is a very, very exclusive place, and beautiful place, and I am in sales selling pre-planned arrangements for people, and also allowing people to buy the real estate.
Let's wrap it up. That got boring.
That got boring. Okay.
I'm sorry, but
okay. All right,
the attention span of us people on YouTube is very long.
Okay, so
what are you doing to my Pac-Man? Let's go ahead and just put this down. I love this little guy, but for some reason she was like hostile, like interrogating him. She wanted some information out of Pac-Man that I don't think he has. So is there anything that you would like to tell the viewers? Anything you want to say before I hit stop?
I want to say I want some ideas from you guys on more products than the t-shirts we have, or ideas for shirts. It's difficult because it can't be too bloody and violent, because most of you are young, and you know, parents and schools and everybody else censor you. So and it can't be too big that I can't ship. The shipping is going to cost more than the item. But anyway, I'd love ideas.
Is that all you care about? It's just shirts.
No, I don't. That's the point. I want more than shirts.
Oh.
But I need to know what these guys would like.
That was a nice way to handle that. No, I care about much more than just shirts. Other things.
More stuff I can sell.
More stuff I can sell.
Anyway, this guy is the greatest guy in the world. He is genuine and a real sweetheart.
I love her. That's Mother's Day with Mama Blade. So, peace.
Bye.